What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 7. So we see Drew and her husband. They are getting along a lot better. He done bought her a scooter. They going on a walk around the neighborhood. You know, they talking about the new house. He's like, you sure this is a good time to go on a girls trip? You know, while we trying to move. And she was like, listen, I do want to go on this trip, but if you need me to stay here and help, you know, get things ready for the new house, I'll stay. And he was like, nah, it's cool, it's cool. So it seems like they're really working on, at least for the cameras, working on, you know, their relationship, and they seem to be in a much better place. So listen, I'm happy for them. She's also having like a little dinner party for the ladies, you know, a little get together, a little something for the ladies. And you know, so anyway, they're setting that up. You know how that goes. So we see Kenya and LaToya meeting up for lunch, right? They're talking about the trip to South Carolina and everything for getting ready, everything ready for the trip to South Carolina. And Kenya done bought the girls some of her bra and panty sets that she can't wear. She said, listen, I went through my drawers. I got so many bra and panty sets that have tags on them, stuff I never wore. I can't fit no more. Girl, here, you can have them. I hope you enjoy them, you know, and of course, you know, whatever. So they're talking about the trip to South Carolina, and Kenya says, listen, I got us a private jet. Listen, I got to take my nanny. You know, I've got to take Brooklyn, and, you know, I ain't trying to have her on no bus for 5 hours and all of that. So we're going to go on a private jet, me, you, and my people. We're going to get there early so we can get everything set up, get Brooklyn settled. So here's the thing. I really feel like this was a production stunt. I really feel like this was a production stunt to create some drama, to create a controversy. Because Kenya, girl, ooh. Really? Anyway. And so then they also had a whole conversation about her and Mark and how horrible things are, how toxic things are. I find it very interesting that Mark announced that they are divorcing again this weekend, which happens to be Kenya's birthday weekend, which I thought was petty as hell. But we had a whole conversation about the marriage and how he's being really unreasonable with his demands and the things that he wants, and how, you know, she can't take the baby out of the country without his permission. She can't put the baby in her photo shoots without his permission because he's just being very unreasonable. But she has sent the paperwork to the lawyer, and, you know, they moving forward. So there we go. Then she calls Drew to talk to Drew about, no, Drew calls her, I'm sorry. Drew called her to ask her about coming to her dinner party. And she says, well, I'm sitting here with LaToya. Can LaToya come? And Drew was like, well, I mean, if she wants to, sure, she can come through. So then Kenya tells Drew, we got a private jet. We're going to be going to South Carolina on a private jet. Me and LaToya and my nanny and the baby. And Drew was like, oh, for real? Oh, okay. Private jet? Excuse me. Private jet? Sure. Okay, cool. And of course, you know, that's going to stir, you know, we already know that's going to stir some controversy, child. We already know what's going to happen with that. So now we have the dinner party, right? Drew and her husband are doing their best. We are in love. Look at us. Her husband is playing the perfect, you know, assistant to host her. She's got a bar. She's got a private chef. And Drew looked really cute. She had this wig with this ponytail down the back. She had this black suit with the bra showing a la Janet Jackson. I thought Drew looked really nice. The table looked nice. Everything was cute. Her makeup was cute. Now, what was curious was that for whatever reason, every time somebody came to the door, for whatever reason, honey, they couldn't hear that doorbell ringing. They got the ring. People was knocking on the doorbell, and nobody could hear. They were just inside talking, having a whole conversation, and nobody could hear them. I don't know why. I don't know what that was about, but okay. But Cynthia got there first, and she outside ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell. Then Candy got there, she ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell. When Cynthia, what's that child's name? Kenya got there, ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell. But again, Drew and her husband are playing perfect host, and they are laughing and joking, and life is lovely, and they're just doing well. And I'm gonna give him credit for that. I'm gonna give him credit for being a perfect host. I mean, he was bringing the ladies drinks. He was picking up the drinks when they got done. They took shots. He came and collected the shot glasses. And then when it was time to disappear, honey, he disappeared. I believe he played the perfect host, right? So, you know, as the ladies arrive, you know, one by one, you know, everything is cool. You know, like I said, they're all getting along, at least, see, you know, for the most part. And they end up going outside and having drinks and you know, taking shots and all that good stuff. And Portia shows up and immediately, like, they having a good time, honey. Portia shows up and immediately stirs the pot and has some shade. She says, Drew, you invited Toya? Because I'm surprised after the way she talked about you. And Drew was like, she was talking about me. Portia was like, honey, yes, she told your wig up, okay? I don't know what the problem was. I mean, I wasn't there. I didn't see how bad that wig was. But the way she talked about you, honey, I mean, and Candy and Cynthia was there. They heard it. They heard the whole thing. And I was like, Portia, you know you being messy. And not only are you being messy, you bringing Candy and Cynthia into that mess. Like, girl. And clearly, Candy felt the same way, because Candy was like, I mean, I didn't see the last wig, but I thought she looked cute. I mean, the way Toya was talking about that girl wig, like, I really expected it to be, you know. And Drew, you threw a little shade to us YouTube community. I know you was shooting at the Toya, baby, but you hit the bullets, okay? The bullets hit everybody. Talking about something, is YouTube a job? I mean, for some people it is, and they make a whole lot of money on YouTube. More than you. I'm just saying. But you know, it was what it was. Now, Latoya didn't even come, even though Latoya was invited and there was a whole place setting for her at the table. She ain't show up. But it seems like the ladies had a good time. It seems like dinner was good. You know, Chef Love is a friend, a sister, cousin, uncle, brother to Drew's husband. So, you know, she said she uses Chef, I think it was Chef Love was her name, that she uses Chef Love often. And, you know, again, it seemed like they had a really nice conversation. And, you know, this was a good moment where the ladies just all seemed to get along. You know what I mean? It was a little bit shade thrown, but nothing that, I mean, we ain't tapped the dinner party. We wasn't throwing people's dishes across the sink, you know, when we got done with it. Like, it was real, you know, calm. She talked about her mom being a pastor and how, you know, on Sunday she leads praise and worship, so child, they didn't ask her to sing. And of course, I mean, my thing is, we know Drew can sing. Like, okay, so she's saying Amazing Grace, and the Hegel Portia talking about something. Remember, I did it first. I mean, we was trying to forget. Then they bring up the South Carolina trip, and Drew was being sneaky. Drew was being real sneaky because Kenya said something about going down there earlier, and Drew was like, how you gonna get down there? You taking another sprinter? And Kenya was like, no, I'm not. She was like, oh, okay. I mean, how you going to make that happen? And she said, and I guess Kenya realized, okay, she about to out me. So she said, well, I was inspired by Portia last week saying that we should take a private jet. And so I booked a private jet. Child, Candy was like, you did what? Girl, you rich now? What? And I was like, y'all know how tight Candy is. So, you know, Candy took a whole sprinter all the way to New York. Candy wasn't playing that. Candy wasn't playing them games. She took a sprinter to New York, okay? So, of course, now all the ladies looking around the table like, really? A private jet? That's what we doing? Really? Wow. A private jet? Okay. Like, that's what we doing? So, Kenya was like, now I see Drew. She's sneaky. Because what happened was, after Kenya said, we're taking a private jet on camera. She wanted that to be on camera. Then she sent Drew a text saying, but don't tell the other girls because you know it's going to be a problem. I said, here we go. Here we go. Now, they asked her about what was going on, you know, with her marital issues or whatever. And she was getting ready to talk about it. And Kenya was like, girl, your husband can hear you. You might not want to have that conversation. I said, I know that's right, Kenya. Let her know. Kick her under the table. Do what you got to do. Because that probably wasn't the best bet. They was having a good day. He was being a good host. Let that be. Let it be. And when they left, honey, the two of them went off to go have themselves, you know, an adult night. Okay. So it was a nice moment. It was a good night. it was a nice situation. You know, again, everything don't always have to be drama. It was a little shade thrown, a little this and a little that. So the ladies are meeting. The ladies are going to be meeting at Candy's house to meet the sprinter, and of course Toya and Kenya. You know, they met to get on the private jet, and we see the ladies packing, and of course they trying to figure out what they're gonna pack, what they're gonna wear, and all this good stuff. And Candy and Todd are having a conversation, and Todd was like, you know what, you know, we're planning Mike's bachelorette party. Maybe y'all should do something for Portia while y'all are down there for, like, you know, her bachelor party. And Candy was like, you know what, that's actually not a bad idea. He was like, yeah, why don't you, you know, call some of the people we did the dungeon tour with. They know strippers all over the place. Find some strippers in South Carolina, you know, had them come through and do something, do a little something for Kenya. And so he was like, okay, cool. She was like, that's actually not a bad idea. Okay, cool. So the next day they meet up at Candy's house, and Candy and Portia talking about how heartbreaking it was that they had, you know, they were, you know, leaving the baby and all that good stuff. And honey, Dennis done bought Portia to drop it off. So of course everybody is looking like, so Dennis here, Portia, Dennis is, that's what, okay, that's what we doing today with Dennis. Dennis gonna be here. Okay, cool. Marlo showed up, child, in a whole hazmat suit. Okay, Tanya, Shamia, Cynthia, Candy. So you know the crew is all there. All the crew's there. So they get on the daggone sprinter. Child, the sprinter don't have no air conditioner. They hot. They sweating. Okay. They done wipe down the whole sprinter with some Lysol wipes that Marlo done bought. And so then, of course, they asked Portia about the whole Dennis situation. And Portia said, listen, we went out to dinner. Dennis wants to, you know, I want us to find a way that we can really work together as co-parents. I'm not interested in getting back with Dennis. I'm not trying to get back with Dennis. Yes, Dennis stayed in my house last night, but honey, he slept on the couch. And it was like, girl, you sure nothing went down. It wasn't no touching, kissing, finger rubbing, nothing. And now, Portia kept saying no, but I felt like when they got to a certain point, she stopped saying no. So I feel like maybe something went down, but not like the whole situation went down. But she said, you know, Dennis, he's trying, but I'm just not there. Like, I'm good with us finding a good place of co-parenting. And then of course they had regular girl trip conversations. Who's had a threesome? Who's done this? Who's done that? You know, that kind of thing. Now down in South Carolina, Kenya and Latoya have arrived. The house is beautiful. It's right on the water. It's a really nice house, and she's got a separate area for the nanny and for Brooklyn. And so then they assign rooms. Now listen, on one hand, I ain't mad at them because I'm sick of us having whole arguments and whole situations over the damn y'all know what I'm saying, over room assignments, right? I'm glad that we're not having whole fights over room assignments, but you know Kenya was shady because she gave Marlo the worst room because, you know, of course Toya done told Kenya that Marlo was talking trash about her. But anyway, that's pretty much it, y'all. Next week, the ladies are going to all arrive, and I'm sure it's going to be a whole kerfuffle about the rooms and things of that nature. But that was pretty much this episode. I'm okay with the episode where the ladies are getting along, because y'all already know the next 3 episodes is going to be some bullshit. So we'll get there when we get there, honey. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.